Hey, hi, I'm Maggie Davis. I'm a painter, and the gallery has a client that is commissioning me to do work using colors that they saw in another work that had been sold. So that's the task today, is to take a look at the colors from that work and make a decision about mixing them. So this is the work that I'm going to replicate the colors in, and it's primarily yellows, some blues, and a red and a kind of violet and muddy green, olive green. So I've laid out my colors here. I took a bunch of yellows. There are 3 here. There's a red and an orange. And then there are 2 blues and white, of course. So I'm laying them out on my palette in order. I've taken the Indian yellow, which is the second, nickel azo yellow, Indian yellow, Naples yellow hue, cadmium orange, cadmium red medium, ultramarine blue, and light ultramarine blue, along with titanium white. And I've laid them out. I'm going to go ahead and put the blue out, the 2 blues. And as I said, I don't know how these are going to come together, but I have a good sense of how to recreate each of those colors since I already have made them once. And I have a stack of cards here that are blank. This stopped working. Okay, so I've got 3 scrapers. I'm probably only going to use 1 or 2 of these. And I'm also going to use a paintbrush. And I have some water here. And so let's start with I suspect that it's going to be the Indian yellow, which is a transparent color. It's very vibrant. It's one of my favorites, but it isn't the only color that is in here. And also on the original work, it varies from opaque to transparent. So I know I'm going to need the white, which I didn't put out here. Okay, so I need a variation, and I'm going to look to see if these are the colors that I'm using: the Indian yellow and the cadmium orange and white. And that's the card that records the colors and also makes notes about whether they were scraped or hand painted. And I needed to know that because there are 2 different applications. So that is that. And I'm just going to, in order to facilitate this, I'm not going to go through making all of the colors, but I am going to show you the cards that I made that will help you understand mixing colors. This was the original practice on the yellow. This is the original practice on the blues. And this is the original practice on the reds. I also have the greens. The greens, you'll notice here, required playing around with all those colors. So in order to get that really muddy little green in there, this is what I did. And then here is the violet, and I'll probably still play around with that a little bit more. Now, application. As I showed you with the marks that I made on the palette, application is pretty much brush And the other alternative is to take a scraper, because that is definitely how some of these have, there's no image.
I can see it here.
You can, I can't. So I don't know if this is working. Okay, so you can see there are scraped marks as well as hand-painted marks. And I'm going to show you how I worked with the scraper. So let's take the blue. I realized that the blue that I was going to have to use was definitely the ultramarine blue light, but I needed to play with it and play with scraping it. You'll notice on here that I scraped around at the bottom there. It really made some nice marks, and also a variation in the tone of the blue, the value of the blue. So we're going to do that here as well, and I'll also do it on the back of this. So here's scraping. And scraping can be very interesting because the scraper, you can go back in and make marks in it, and you can also go over and change the values. So there's a lot can be done. And this is going to be a kind of play to get some of the mark making that I need to facilitate this process of making another painting using the same coloration as the painting that the clients saw. So you could stop this for a minute. Okay, so I've got 3 scrapers. I'm probably only going to use 1 or 2 of these. And I'm also going to use a paintbrush. And I have some water here. And so let's start with the, I suspect that it's going to be the Indian yellow, which is a transparent color. It's very vibrant. It's one of my favorites, but it isn't the only color that is in here. And also on the original work, it varies from opaque to transparent. So I know I'm going to need the white, which I didn't put out here. Okay, so I need a variation, and I'm going to look to see if